it's inefficient
Forever.
and long-winded.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Well, y'all are.
That's the irony of it.
That would mean some are.
How are you?
Do you have an extra pen in your
I do.
satchel? Do you?
I'll give you a pen. Give me one
Thank you.
I have a pencil.
So-
You're writing with my pencil.
Yeah, here you go. So after each case is done, just cross it off, and then you'll know where you are on the agenda.
I got you.
Jan, Mark, and Mark.
Yeah, we're like down to.
JV squad.
Is-
He's running the meeting.
Look at you. How are you?
There you go.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good.
You got this.
Whatever, I mean, they have it, they don't miss that.
We do my hair.
She's on her way.
Gonna say.
She's coming, don't worry.
Is Michael coming? Michael's coming, right?
Yes, Michael.
Oh, he's right
is
there.
coming.
Okay, I'll ask him
I've
to do
talked
that.
to everybody, and they all said they were gonna be here. The only one I physically did not speak to was Zach, who's here, so we're good.
Very hard to get
Where
over.
am I?
Right there.
Oh my.
You're in the spot. In a new spot.
Bud came to see us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So what was you doing, just wandering around or?
We put in a sewer line, and we put it on the school property. We didn't know. I mean, we know where our property line is, but
He's not gonna make you dig it up there.
no. It was funny because I was like, I mean, we knew we did, but the city told us we had to, so.
I think that it would, the city would be happy with something like that.
It's that weird Hilton quasi stuff that goes on. It's all over Hilton like that. The
Well,
alley.
the alley, the property line,
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't blame anybody because you just, you know, the alley and. Mm-hmm. Real necessity. We were happy to replace it, but it's just so funny.
Greetings. Greetings.
Can you do the convocation? No, no, no. Invocation, whatever we're doing.
I'd love to. Smile on my face.
Who's reading the creed?
I'd rather read. I'd rather read the creed.
Steve, you reading the creed?
No, I'm doing the pledge of
Oh,
allegiance.
he's doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Dax is doing the creed.
Okay, can we just do the pledge of allegiance?
Just love to do
Can we
that.
change this thing and get it straight?
Well, you changed it and you made it this way, so I ain't changing it yet.
Excuse me, we will change it if the commission wants to. That's our purview.
Well, there you go. If you all want to, and you have another session, you can do so.
Okay, January 1st will happen.
Yeah, you do that.
Just mine. Sharon got a new car.
She did. I saw she got tags. Is that the car you were driving out there? It's a nice car.
I know.
Unfortunately, it has a spare tire on it.
That's right.
Is it?
It's so new, they don't have tires.
Really?
I'm going to go out once there, and if they have any kind of a tire that fits it.
Did you guys get your,
I mean, seriously, I can drive
laptops
around
all-
a donut for 2 weeks.
laptops good? Yeah. Okay, just check.
It's a new tire and a new car.
Yeah, I ran over a slope, and it was too close to the white.
Do you have
wall.
tires for life?
Oh, you're stuck.
Doesn't matter, I can't get the tire.
That's fine.
Why can't the dealership get it?
They have to order it, it's special
That's
order.
easy.
So then they should do it.
It's been ordered.
Oh my God, takes that long?
The first one, Costco lost.
Hmm.
Give you another car.
What?
Quicker to give you another car.
You know, there's a thought, except there's not that many of this
Or
car.
give you a loaner.
Would you get a DeLorean?
Get a loaner. they,
I got a Lincoln Corsair.
will they give you a loaner?
What is that?
I don't want a loaner.
Oh, well.
What is a Lincoln Corsair? I'm a Gen Xer. Oh.
So now she
I've,
You got a phone, look
This
at
is a brand
It's
new
off.
car.
God forbid I turn it on.
It's a brand new car. It just came out this year. It's like an Lincoln MKC. But it is really cool.
If you can get tires for it.
You better run. Did you look it up?
You're allowed to have your phone. Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's called Merlot.
Of course, your car would be.
I named it because I have it on my phone. That's my answer.
Where's my book?
I can do that with mine.
Now it's back to back. I used to keep it in front. I'm believing this is updated.
But do you want your phone?
No, but the front is not old, but I'm saying the interior, yeah, that has.
I like that it's more. You named it.
Not just the questions he's done.
But this is the second.
As a matter of fact, Merlot is still in the car.
And then we'll do a bunch of
Majority of the,
Bottom of the line.
no action from the county board unless authorized by the knowledge that those present.
those ones. I
Majority
number
of those present.
Do I have to say the questions on?
They have a form.
we have some representatives.
I'm a baby boomer, you know, I don't care about Russia.
Exactly, right? See, that, now that's a good one.
So I should say we
Hello.
have Dave Goop here and Charles Tucker here for questions only.
All the applicants have questions. Yes. If they're all right. They are not. No. If they were representatives or lawyers. Well, I go find out tomorrow.
So how are you?
Hey, can I give you a gavel? If you have any more questions, I'm gonna grab you a gavel, hold on.
But Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the November 6, 2019 meeting of the City of Newport News Planning Commission. The chair recognizes Commissioner Whitcamp.
Thank you. The Newport News Planning Commission is mandated by state law, and its members are appointed by City Council. Section 15.2-2210 of the Code of Virginia states, in part, that every locality shall create a planning commission in order to promote the orderly development of the locality and its environment. The statutory purpose is to improve the public health, safety, convenience, and welfare of the citizens, and to plan the future developments of the communities. In serving this statutory purpose, the Commission invites the comments at the public hearing of its interested citizens of matters before it and welcomes your presence. Madam Vice Chairman, I move we adopt the agenda before us.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we adopt the agenda before us. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We will now have our invocation by Commissioner Carpenter.
Bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, gracious God, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for all the wonderful things in our lives. We thank you for this wonderful city in which we live. And on this day and in this meeting, we ask for your guidance, your wisdom, and your strength to do the right thing for this city and for its citizens. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioner Gross will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I trust that all the commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes of October 2nd, 2019. Public hearing. If there are no additions, corrections, or deletions, the minutes will stand as printed. Okay. I will now move to the public hearing portion of our meeting. Item case number CU 2019-0008, Alpine Shops LLC, will be presented by Carolyn Poisson. Poisson?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I am here to present application CU 2019-008, submitted by Alpine Shops LLC, requesting a conditional use permit for operation of a tattoo establishment in the C2 General Commercial District. The proposed location for the establishment is in the small strip mall located at 12590 Warwick Boulevard. The .88 acre property includes a 5,360 square foot building, 40 space parking lot, signage, and landscaping. The actual address of the tenant space is 12592. Each of the tenant spaces have their own address at that location. The property lies within a predominantly commercial corridor with residential uses to the east. The adjacent properties include Leading Edge Automotive and Bin Swanger Glass on property zoned C2 General Commercial to the north. Cool Wave Car Wash on property zoned C2 General Commercial to the south. The Newport Commons Apartments on property zoned R7 Medium Density Multifamily Dwelling District, which is to the east. And AutoZone on property zoned C2 General Commercial, which is located to the west across Warwick Boulevard. And here you can also see all the locations. The property has been zoned C2 General Commercial since the citywide comprehensive rezoning occurred in August of 1997. Tattoo establishments are only allowed in the C2 district with approval of a conditional use permit. The zoning ordinance also requires that tattoo artists be licensed by the Commonwealth of Virginia, and verification of those licenses has been provided. The parking requirement is 1 space per 250 square feet, 35 spaces total, and that is adequate for all uses in the building. The proposed tenant space is currently vacant. There is sufficient parking for all the uses, and the traffic impacts will generally be actually less than the previous use, less vehicle trips. The business plan indicates there will be space for 2 licensed tattoo artists with 2 apprentices, and also a separate booth for a guest artist. The hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and they will be closed on Sunday. And as typical, the signage will need to be reviewed and approved by the planning director. In conclusion, the proposed use of a tattoo establishment is consistent with the One City, One Future 2040 Comprehensive Plan, which calls for neighborhood commercial uses. The application meets all regulatory requirements and provides renewed economic activity. As conditioned, the tattoo establishment is compatible with the surrounding properties. As such, staff does recommend approval of conditional use permit CU 2019-0008 to allow for the operation of a tattoo establishment at 12592 Warwick Boulevard with conditions. There are 12 total conditions. I will just highlight the key ones here. The tattoo establishment will be limited only to the specific 800 square feet of the tenant space at 12592 Warwick Boulevard. The building signs shall be submitted to the Department of Planning and approved by the director prior to issuance of a sign permit. And signage placed in or on any window or building of a building shall be limited to no more than 25% of each window, which is standard. The business operator shall comply with all provisions contained in Chapter 20, Health and Sanitation, Article 4, tattoo establishments and body piercing salons of the Newport News Code. And the additional standard conditions are included in the staff report, which you have. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and the proposed tenants are also here to answer questions if you need.
Are there any questions for Carolyn?
Carolyn, do you know the date or the approximate date when we approved a tattoo parlor across the street and down a block? Or does staff know that by chance?
3 or 4 years ago.
Was it 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, wasn't too long ago, about 2 years.
great.
We
Thank-
have
thank
3
you, ladies.
We have 3 tattoo parlors. This will be the 3rd one, right? Opening. We have Jefferson Avenue, Warwick Boulevard. We have had no issues
This would be the 4th.
with any of those, as far as I know, with police or,
That I don't know for sure, but I don't think so.
right.
I will now open the public hearing. We have one person here just for questions only, William Houghton. If there are any questions? No? Okay. Let's see. Having no cards on this matter, or having no further cards to speak to this matter, I'll now close the public hearing. Is that right?
Madam Chairwoman, I would like to make a motion that we approve CU 2019-0008 with conditions as included in the application.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we recommend approval of CU 2019-0008. Is there any discussion? Okay, call the roll, Melissa.
Okay. One second. Commissioner Maxwell,
4.
Commissioner Fox,
4.
Commissioner Carpenter,
4.
Commissioner Whitcamp,
4.
Commissioner Gross,
4.
Commissioner Stodgel.
4.
Motion unanimous, 6-0. This case will be
Oh, yeah, when will this case will be heard by City Council on November 26, 2019. Let's see, I will now move the public hearing portion of our meeting to the next case number CU 20190010, presented by Saul Gleiser.
Good afternoon. So application CU 2019-0010 is by Denby Church of Christ. They are the owner and applicant in this case, and it is for a conditional use permit for the installation of an electronic display sign in conjunction with a community facility in a residential district. The property is located at 205 Denby Boulevard, and it contains 4 acres. North, east, south, and west are single-family homes on property zone R3 single-family dwelling. The One City, One Future Comprehensive Plan 2040 land use map designates community facilities uses for this property. The church use is a community facility and is compatible with this designation. The property has been zoned R3 single-family dwelling since the city-wide comprehensive rezoning in August of '97. The sign ordinance allows no more than 1 electronic display sign per developed site. The overall height of the proposed sign structure is a total of 5 feet 3 inches, and the electronic display portion of the sign is 7.5 square feet, significantly less than the allowable 10 feet height and 32 square feet of display area. Thus, the sign meets the height and area requirements of the sign ordinance. The sign ordinance also stipulates that any sign that is visible at a distance of 250 feet from any portion of a single-family or multiple-family dwelling district shall not be illuminated between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. The church has been in operation on this site since 1979. They have an existing sign that was installed in the early 1980s, and it is an externally illuminated monument-style sign with a brick base. The proposed sign will replace this sign at exactly the same location. The church property is in a residential neighborhood with single-family homes directly adjacent on all 4 sides. In order to mitigate potential adverse impacts of the electronic display sign on the surrounding residences, the applicant is proposing an electronic display sign area that, as I said, is significantly smaller than that is permitted. And they are also placing that electronic portion of the sign in the lower half of the sign. So that further mitigates any intrusion of light in the residences. Of course, it will be in accordance to the ordinance, and it would not be illuminated between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. The applicant is also proposing to landscape the area around the sign, providing a transition and softening the base of the sign structure. In conclusion, the proposed sign meets all the regulatory requirements cited in the sign ordinance for electronic display signs. Landscaping around the sign will be installed in an area where none currently exists. The impact of the sign on nearby properties is anticipated to be minimal, and the sign operation will observe the required lighting schedule. Hence, it is recommended that Planning Commission recommend approval of conditional use permit CU 2019-0010 to allow for the installation of an electronic display sign in conjunction with a community facility in a residential district at 205 Denby Boulevard with 13 conditions that include the design and height of the sign shall be in accordance with the submitted rendering. The electronic display portion of the sign shall not exceed 8 square feet. The sign shall not be illuminated between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., and all other standard conditions for electronic signs also apply. All 13 conditions are detailed in the staff report and will be part of the ordinance approved by council. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions for Saul?
Okay.
I will now open the public hearing. We have, let's see, we have 2 people, am I right? Yes, 2 people here for questions only. Dave Gupta, they're representing the applicant, Dave Gupta and Charles Tucker. Do we have any questions for them? Yeah, not quite much. Having no further cards to speak of the matter, I will close the public hearing. This matter is before the commission.
Madam Chairwoman, I move that conditional use permit number CU TAC 2019 TAC 0010 be approved with conditions as recommended by staff or as amended.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we recommend approval of CU 2019-0010. Is there any further discussion? I lost my place. Is there any further discussion? No? Okay, Melissa, please call the roll.
Okay. Commissioner Fox,
4,
Commissioner Carpenter,
4.
Commissioner Whitcamp,
4.
Commissioner Gross,
4.
Commissioner Maxwell,
4.
Commissioner Stodgel.
4.
Motion unanimous, 6-0.
Okay,
This case,
rolling right along.
the case will be heard by city.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. This case will be heard by City Council on November 26, 2019. All right, so, let's see. We now have item case number CU-2019-0011. Conditional use permit, Paul and Melanie Deese, I'm sorry, presented by Saul Gleiser.
Hello again. So we have application CU 2019-0011 by Paul and Melanie Deese.
Days, okay.
The Catholic Diocese of Richmond is the actual applicant. The conditional use permit is for the operation of a campus ministry house. The property is located at 91 Shoe Lane, and it contains 0.3 acres. North, east, south, and west are single-family homes on property zone R2 and R3, single-family dwelling. The One City, One Future Comprehensive Plan 2040 land use map designates low-density residential uses for the property. A campus ministry house is a residential use that is compatible with this designation. The property has been zoned R3, single-family dwelling, since the citywide comprehensive rezoning in August of 1997. In 1998, City Council amended the zoning ordinance and the city code to add a definition for a campus ministry house. A campus ministry house is permitted by conditional use permit in the single-family dwelling districts. The ordinance stipulates that the use be located on or within 1,000 feet of a college campus in a structure that may be residential. Other stipulations state that the structure may be used as the residency of a campus minister and their family. It can be used for counseling, for religious study, for student meetings, for the administrative functions of a campus minister, and other similar activities. The Departments of Codes Compliance and Fire noted that if approved and not used as a campus minister's residence, the use will constitute a change of use under the building code, in which case architectural plans must be provided to address occupancy, accessibility, structural floor loading, and fire protection systems. Plans must be reviewed and approved by the plans examiner, and any required changes must be completed prior to commencement of the proposed use. Christopher Newport University lists 18 faith-based student organizations. Although these organizations provide scheduled activities on campus to seek pastoral counseling or activities beyond those scheduled times, students would have to seek faith communities throughout the city, which is not always convenient. A campus ministry house responds to the needs of those students. Catholic Campus Ministry at Christopher Newport University has been searching for a permanent space that is easily accessible to conduct small prayer and meditation groups, Bible study, and a small group fellowship, among other faith center student activities. 91 Shoe Lane is located less than 700 feet from Christopher Newport University campus, meeting the campus proximity requirement. The ministry feels this property embodies the characteristics they are seeking. Given that the applicant does not intend to have the campus minister reside at this house, the structure will need to be appropriately updated to meet the building code requirements for the use. Understanding that not having a minister residing on premises somehow deviates from the more traditional residential use, specific conditions limiting the hours of operation are being placed to ensure that use will be less impactful on surrounding properties. The campus ministry house, as conditioned, is compatible with the surrounding residential neighborhood. In conclusion, the proposed use meets all requirements cited in the ordinance for a campus ministry house. If approved, the appropriate architectural changes will be done prior to the commencement of the use. The proposed use is compatible with the recommendations in the One City, One Future 2040 Comprehensive Plan and with the residential character of the neighborhood in which it is located. Hence, it is recommended that Planning Commission recommend to City Council approval of conditional use permit CU 2019-0011 to allow for the operation of a campus ministry house at 91 Shoe Lane with 12 conditions that include architectural drawings that address occupancy, accessibility, structural floor loading, and fire protection system shall be provided for review and approved by the Department of Codes Compliance. All necessary improvements shall be completed prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy. No person shall be permitted to reside on premises other than a campus minister and his or her immediate family, or up to 3 campus ministers without families. There shall be no church worship services at this location. There shall be no live performances, music, or other type of live entertainment. There shall be no signage on the property. And if not used as the residence of the campus minister and his or her family, all activities and services shall be conducted between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. only. All other standard conditions apply. All 12 conditions are detailed in the staff report and will be part of the ordinance approved by council. Are there any questions?
Let me just interrupt just for a second. I have a question, Lynn. My guess is John Hopke is the architects? Lynn, my question is, my firm has a professional relationship right now. We're working on a project with them. Is that a conflict of interest for me?
That's my father.
What do you mean that's your,
Yeah, John A. Hopke is my father. I'm John F. Hopke, his son.
are you working in the firm?
No.
Okay, good.
Catholic diocese.
All right, just wanted to make sure. Never mind. That's my question.
Good question.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
One thing I noticed in our standard conditions, there's nothing in here about cameras. And this is kind of gonna be operating like an office from 9 to 5. I'm just curious about that.
Police didn't ask for the cameras. It is in the middle of a residential district. It's a residential use, even though it's going to have an office.
Right.
So we didn't think that cameras were needed.
We don't usually require cameras for churches,
In a
no matter
residential.
where they're located.
Okay. And it says that will operate from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, but then one of the conditions, it says all activities and services shall be conducted between 9 and 9.
Correct.
But that's
because-
only if it's not a residence.
Correct. It's only if it's not a residence. And even though their business plan says that they will operate between 9 and 5, then they go out and say that there might have activities all the way till 9 o'clock. So that's why the condition is 9 to 9.
How would we enforce them not having a church worship service? I mean, it seems kind of ambiguous to me. I mean, is that really necessary, or?
The reason for that condition is that it is a residential use. Once you start having church worshiping services, it becomes a church. The specifications, regulations for a church are completely
Totally
different
And parking.
than
Okay.
what they are.
So this is to
Proposed.
prevent that from
Exactly.
happening? Okay.
You would have potentially parking issues and live music issues and other things that would not perhaps be compatible with neighbors right next door to you.
Correct.
So if they have a service, they just need to not call it church.
Well, they're not supposed to have a worship service, that's what this
Okay.
says.
That's all.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. I'm going through the analysis. Your fourth paragraph down, very bottom of page 2, it starts, it says, "The proposed activities as described by the applicant fall within the stipulated uses in the ordinance." Next paragraph, and I think it's the location of the comma that throws me off. Given that, I guess you're referring back to what I just read to you. It goes on to say, "The applicant does not intend to have the campus minister reside at the house. The structure will need to be appropriately updated to meet the building code requirements for the use." So am I correct in my reading that it says this residential structure will need to be updated as per the building code as it would apply to a commercial structure? Is that what you're saying?
It's a change of use?
It would be a change of use under the building code.
So yes, the
So,
residential structure will
yes,
need to be
if-
updated.
If there is no minister residing on the property, then it will have to be updated.
As an office.
Yes,
And they're not planning on having a minister.
that is correct.
So it goes to business.
Yes.
Based on the building code,
Yeah.
yes. Essentially, that's what the, both the fire marshal and the building plans examiner have stated.
But if it's a business, then
It's a business use for the building code. There's a differentiation between the building code and zoning. Zoning, it's still listed in a residential use, and that's why it's compatible with the neighborhood. However, the building code requires other things when it becomes a business use.
but not cameras.
But
No. And
That's a zoning
usually,
issue.
that is not a building code requirement.
That's a zoning requirement.
That is
And
a
this is not a
police
zoning.
requirement, zoning requirement.
It's not a
Yes.
rezoning.
Yes.
So another question is, one of the recommendations, staff recommendations, is that there will be no signage.
Correct.
And there's another one right down the street that does have a sign, right?
Actually, it does not. It just has an address. There used to be one at 75 Shoe Lane that you all remember.
But it hasn't
But it no
been
longer is
in
being used
operation
that way.
since,
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
And is
So,
the sign still there?
no, just the
There's no
address.
sign.
The sign's just, the sign's just in my mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes.
All right,
There was a sign.
okay. There's a lot of things there,
And
yes.
just to clarify, that use predates the requirements in the ordinance.
I just have a quick question. So the 5 parking spaces, isn't that what we said? At least 5 vehicles, that's in the back of the building?
That's on the driveway.
Yeah, so but in back, there's a garage in the back. So will they park back there or on the driveway?
They
or-
can park on the driveway.
So there's no plan
If
for
need.
any kind of lighting because there's 5, okay.
It is intended to be a use where you would walk to, but there is the opportunity to park at least 5 cars in that drive.
I don't know, they may take a scooter.
Or a bike.
They may. Any other
Any other
questions?
questions? All right, I will now open
Thank
the
you.
public hearing. We have John F. Hopke. These are for questions only. Representing the applicant, Charles Michael, I'm sorry, Charles Michael, and Jeff Riddle. Do we have any questions? No? Having no further cards to speak to this matter, I will now close the public hearing. The matters before the commission.
Madam Chairman, I would like to move for approval of CU-2019-0011 with conditions as mandated by the application, in the application.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we recommend approval of CU-2019-0011. Is there any discussion? Melissa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter,
4.
Commissioner Whitcamp,
4.
Commissioner Gross,
4.
Commissioner Maxwell, Commissioner Fox,
4,
Commissioner Stodgel,
4.
motion unanimous, 6-0.
Great. This case will be heard by City Council on November 26, 2019. All right? All right. Let's see. Item number ZT ZT-2019-0007 will be presented by Flora Quiros.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So I am here to present a text amendment to the zoning ordinance, floodplain development regulations, district provisions, to delete section 45-3115G. The section exempts agricultural, outdoor recreational activities, and water-related activities from the floodplain district provisions. This language was identified by the Federal Management Agency, FEMA, as an area of concern during their Community Asset Assistance visit in November of 2018. They stated that the exemption from the floodplain district requirements do not meet the minimum requirements for participation in the National Flood Insurance Program. The deletion of this section will clarify that all development within the 100-year floodplain is subject to the requirements of the city's floodplain regulations as required by FEMA and compliance with the National Flood Insurance Program. On October 16, 2019, the Regulations Committee reviewed and recommended the amendment. Staff recommends that Planning Commission recommend to City Council the adoption of zoning ordinance text amendment ZT 2019-0001. I'm here for questions.
Any questions? Do I do a is there a public hearing for this too? Yes. Okay. Having no cards on this issue, I will now open and close the public hearing. The matter is before the commission.
Just for a matter of statement of what the Regulations Committee did, we did meet October 16th, as Ms. Choris mentioned. We did
Yes.
review it. We had a detailed discussion on it, short though, and we certainly did approve it, so I'm definitely in favor of this.
Okay. I'll second.
Wait, somebody make a motion?
Did you make a motion?
No.
Okay.
I was just
Do we
telling
have
you
a
I'm going to
first-
be in favor of. You
Okay.
wanna-
Okay, I'll make a motion.
All right.
I will second that gladly.
I thought you were ending with a
Sorry, I
motion.
apologize.
No, okay, wait, I have to find it.
ZT,
I'd like to recommend approval of ZT-2019-0007 as presented by Ms. Flora Churros.
Second.
it has been moved and properly seconded that we recommend approval of ZT-2019-0007. Is there any discussion? Nope. Melissa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Whitcamp,
4.
Commissioner Gross,
4.
Commissioner Maxwell, Commissioner Fox,
4.
Commissioner Carpenter,
4.
Commissioner Stodgel,
4.
motion unanimous, 6-0.
And again, we have Flora with item number SMR-2019-0001 will be presented again by Flora Chieros.
Good afternoon again. This request is to amend Chapter 37.1, Stormwater Management, Chesapeake Bay Preservation, Section 37.1-51, Performance Standards, to change the date reference in Section 37.1-512C. The Code of Virginia allows an administrative approval process for encroachments into the Chesapeake Bay Resource Protection Area, or RPA, based on certain criteria for lots created between October 1st, 1989 and March 1st, 2002. The city's stormwater management Chesapeake Bay preservation regulations adopted in 2013 incorrectly identified the dates to be between October 1st, 1989 and July 1st, 2004. The proposed amendment will correct the date range as stated in the Code of Virginia and will bring the regulations into compliance with the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality requirements. Again, on October 16th, 2019, the Regulations Committee reviewed and recommended the amendment to be adopted. Staff also recommends that Planning Commission recommend to City Council adoption of Stormwater Management Regulations Amendment, SMR 2019-0001. Any questions?
Was it a typo?
We think so, yes. We couldn't find a reason for it. We
So-
don't know why the date.
Good editing.
Yeah. We apologize.
No, I'm not offended. I'm just curious. It's good attention to detail.
Are there any questions, further questions? I will now open the public hearing. No cards on the matter, so I will now close the public hearing. Let's see, the matter is before the commission.
Yes, Madam Chairman, we did meet, as Ms. Torres mentioned, on October 16th. We had a good and sufficient discussion about it, and we did that being said, I would move that we recommend to City Council the adoption of zoning text amendment SMR-2019-0001.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we recommend approval of SMR-2019-0001 text amendment. Is there any discussion? Okay, Melissa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Gross?
4.
Commissioner Maxwell?
4.
Commissioner Fox?
4.
Commissioner Carpenter?
4.
Commissioner Whitcamp?
4.
Commissioner Stodgel?
4.
Motion unanimous, 6-0.
And this will be heard by City Council November 26, 2019. All right, and we will now move to the Executive Secretary report by Sheila McAllister.
Good afternoon. On October the 15th, the Board of Zoning Appeals approved the special exception at 10 Sweetbriar Drive. And on October 22nd, City Council approved the conditional use permit on Jefferson Avenue for the body and paint shop, automobile body and paint shop, and the Denby Warwick area plan. Also, we have no cases for November 20th, December 4th, or December the 18th, and your January meeting, January 2020, falls on January the 1st. That's one that you typically will cancel.
Oh, I
So-
like New Year's Day.
Since we're closed. But what is your pleasure on the meetings?
Is there any reason for us to have a work session?
Yeah, is there anything?
Coming up,
No.
What?
We will be holding a community meeting for short-term rentals on
Oh,
December the 5th.
where is
So-
the meeting?
James Room, Fountain Plaza 1, City Center,
and when would that possibly come back to us?
next year.
Will we need a meeting to discuss it? Prior to,
I don't think so, because after the December 5th meeting, it'll probably go back to regulations before it comes back to you all.
Madam Chairman, Chairwoman, excuse me, sorry.
yeah, get that
I
right.
would move that we cancel the, I believe, 3 meetings that Sheila mentioned that where we do not have cases, but then also strongly urge our members that we attend the community meeting about short-term rentals.
Yes, will we get, we'll get email.
Yes.
That would be a motion, thank you.
What's the date for the community?
I second that emotion.
What was
The
the
5th.
What's the date for the community meeting?
the 5th?
December the 5th.
December 5th.
Does your motion include January 1st?
Yes, the one meetings that she said we don't have a case for.
Very good. Just checking.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. And I'd also like to introduce you to our newest planner, Planner 2. Her name is Tolawasi Abikunle. I was trying to say it, but we call her Tolu. She comes from the city of Hampton, and she received her Bachelor of Urban and Regional Planning from East Carolina University and a master's degree in Urban and Regional Planning from Virginia Commonwealth University. Just like to welcome her aboard.
Well,
Welcome.
She's in our comprehensive planning division, so you may not see her much, but you will be seeing her. She will be working on several plans throughout the city. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. And is there any unfinished business? Oh, committee reports. I'm sorry. Are there any committee reports?
Well, the only committee meeting we had, we just voted on
I
the two
thought so.
text amendments,
Okay.
so
No.
good job.
All right. Any new business? Oh, God, I get to do this. Meeting's adjourned.
Good job.
Good job.
Happy New Year.